The signs have been around you this whole time. The dreams that felt too real. The words from strangers that felt personal. The coincidences that lined up so perfectly they could only be divine. You're not here by accident. You're here because God has chosen this moment to speak to you. But the question remains, will you recognize His voice, or will you miss it? The answer will change everything. And this is where the real story begins. The real struggle begins when you start to realize that God has been speaking, but His voice feels hidden under the noise of daily life. You wonder, what if I missed it? What if the test wasn't only about surviving the pain, but about listening in the silence? That question itself becomes the conflict, because it isn't just about what happened to you, it's about what you will do now that you know He was reaching for you all along. There's a pull inside of you, almost like a quiet battle between faith and doubt. One side whispers, "You made it through. You're stronger now." But the other side lingers, asking, "Was it enough? Did you really hear Him? Or did you mistake His silence for absence?" This inner struggle grows heavier when you think back to the moments that didn't make sense. The sudden betrayal that cut deep. The delay that felt like punishment. The door that slammed shut when you were so close to stepping into something new. Each piece feels like a mystery you can't solve, but somehow they all connect to this one truth. God was testing your heart. And here's where the tension rises. Because while you may have passed one test, there's another waiting. It's not the kind that measures what you can endure, but whether you're willing to listen when the world is pulling you in every direction. It's about choosing between distraction and obedience, between comfort and calling. Every story has a turning point, and you are standing at the edge of yours. The signs are still there, louder now, but the decision is in your hands. And what you choose next will decide everything. Would you like me to keep building this scene into a longer, layered narrative with side stories and symbolic examples so it stretches toward your 15,000 word goal? Or should I keep giving you 300 to 500 word suspense-filled segments step by step? You start to notice that the more you try to ignore the signs, the stronger they become. It's almost as if God refuses to let you slip back into old habits. The same thought keeps pressing on your heart. The same scripture keeps showing up in conversations, and even in the quiet moments when you try to escape, His voice still finds a way to echo in your mind. It feels like you are being drawn into something greater, yet the weight of it all is almost too much to carry. The tension grows when familiar things begin to shift. People who once felt close suddenly seem distant. Opportunities that looked secure start to fall apart. The comfort of routine begins to crumble, leaving you standing in a place where nothing feels steady. And in that shaking, you realize this isn't just about passing a single test. It's about whether you're willing to trust God completely when the ground beneath you starts to break. The conflict burns even deeper because every choice now feels heavier than before. Saying yes to God might cost you friendships, comfort, or the life you thought you wanted. Saying no might bring relief for a moment, but it could silence the very call you were created to follow. The tension between these two paths grows louder with every passing day. You sense you are standing at the edge of something that could change everything. The air feels thick, the silence almost deafening, and you know the next step you take will lead you either closer to God's voice or further away. The stage is set, the moment is near, and your spirit can feel it. Something is about to break wide open. Do you want me to carry this intensity into a cliffhanger-style climax next? Or keep layering suspense with more subtle subplots before hitting the peak? Just when you think you've reached the limit of what you can carry, something unexpected happens that shakes you even more. The very thing you thought was secure, the one part of your life you believed could never be touched, suddenly begins to crack. It feels almost cruel, almost impossible, and yet deep down you sense this isn't punishment. It's another test. A second wave, stronger than the first, meant to strip away the last pieces of control you were still holding on to. The twist comes when you realize the conflict isn't just happening around you. It's happening inside you. For the first time, you begin to question not only the circumstances but also your own heart. Were you really paying attention to God's signs? Or were you only listening when it felt safe? The weight of this question grows heavier with every unexpected turn. You start to see that what's being tested now isn't your endurance. It's your willingness to surrender completely. This is where the fear creeps in. Because surrender means letting go of the timeline you built, the dreams you thought were yours, and the plans you carefully made. And yet, everywhere you look, the same message seems to follow. Pay attention. Do not miss this moment. It echoes through conversations, through setbacks, even through the silence of the night when sleep escapes you. The second plot twist is that the cost of ignoring God's voice becomes clearer. It's no longer about missing a blessing. It's about missing your calling. Every delay, every closed door, every sudden shift is pointing you toward a crossroads where your decision will not only affect your life, but the lives of others connected to you. The stakes are no longer personal, they are eternal. And now, standing in the middle of the storm, with everything around you trembling, you feel it stronger than ever. The test has escalated. The voice of God is louder, the pressure heavier, and the choice unavoidable. Something is coming, and you know the climax is near. But the question still hangs in the air. Will you have the courage to answer the call, or will you turn away when it matters most? Would you like me to extend this escalation into more symbolic, layered storytelling, like weaving in biblical parallels and personal anecdotes, to stretch toward your 15,000-word goal? Or should I continue in shorter 300 to 500 word suspense-building pieces?